What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on a very nice Sunday evening. It is the crew. We are here, and we are very excited for tonight because we have a really, really cool show planned. Obviously, the Schmoedown is in full frenzy mode. It is leading up to, and yes, the awards are this week. Very exciting times, but let's be honest, it's the chaotic time of the rookies, the free agents, and everything is kind of on the brink of collapse in the best way possible at the moment for the Schmoedown. And we have
everything is falling
dramatic.
We have
the world is on fire. Everything is falling apart.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But we have three people tonight that we're going to be talking to. Three hopeful rookies who are on the draft list, not officially part of the league, but are hoping to be drafted. And we're giving them a little bit of a platform to talk and introduce themselves and say something to the managers that maybe may sway a manager. So we're very excited that we have Thomas Harper joining us from the Star Wars division. We have Christina Vasalo as well, who is very well known inside the community. And then to finish that out, we have Sean Chandler, the big YouTube movie guy, Sean Chandler, which is going to be a lot of fun towards the end of the show as well. So we are back. How is everybody doing? Molly, you're back to reality.
Yeah, welcome back.
I sat at my computer and I was like, I don't even remember how computers work. Like, that's how relaxed I was over the weekend. And I'm happy, but also sad that I'm back to real life now. Because now I'm like, oh, I should study.
Study mode. You did influence me, though. However, I am currently looking at Airbnbs for Joshua Tree right now for just Sean and I. So just unplug and get away for a weekend. So
it was
thank
so
you.
Nice. Yeah, it was just the two of us. It was like nobody else near us whatsoever. That's like perfect
Joshua Tree too.
Perfect pandemic vacation.
It looked so pretty. I'm like obsessed with all of your pictures. It looked so nice.
So besides being obsessed with Molly's vacation, Jill, how are you? Currently drinking the biggest glass of something.
It's Bacardi and orange peach mango juice. I was like, what should I have to drink today? Oh, I have these things. So I just threw it together. It's quite good.
Happy hours this week. Clearly.
Happy hour. Let's get started.
We're practicing.
We gotta practice, Brian.
That's a great plug. First episode of Happy Hour this Saturday, guys.
I mean, it's getting better. We're doing better over here in the Sullivan household. So, Kylie, it's a Sunday today. Listen, guys.
God damn it.
Listen.
I don't
want to hear it.
Okay, before I get to Brian, because I wanted to read a specific comment because it's dedicated to that Twitter thread that had happened yesterday.
Swear to God.
So first of all, I wanted to read this one. This one's from Almog, and he sent in a very generous donation. Said, since Sean probably won't fly to Israel to rummage through my albums of cards, though he is welcome, here's a small contribution to help recovering from the loss. From one collector to another, have a good day, everyone.
Guys.
And then Reefton stepped in because Reefton can't watch live right now. He's going back to work tomorrow, so he's asleep finally. And he says, well, since I can't watch live, I wanted to get the question early, and we have a question for that one. And then he says, oh, totally forgot to ask this. Jill, what day is it again?
Listen.
Everyone.
Okay, some backstory real quick. I was tweeting. I was plenty of mimosas in. I had my Tempur-Pedic reclined. I was relaxed as heck. And I tweeted about it and I said, Happy Friday. I was just in that relaxed mindset and I said, Happy Friday. Then everyone went, what day is it, Jill? I was like, God damn it, it's Saturday, isn't it?
You put one thing on Twitter, and it's
everyone.
You're done.
Hey,
you're done.
Probably gonna get a shirt from it though that says Happy Hour. What day is it?
What day is it?
What day is it? Hashtag Happy Hour. So
not bad.
Cheers.
Yeah. I mean,
I was gonna delete it when someone corrected me on it, but I was like, I buried it in my own grave. I'm gonna accept this, and I'm just gonna roll with it. So apparently today's Saturday now. So cheers.
I wish.
Brian, what about you? How you doing, man?
Oh, just normal day. Did my normal Sunday stuff of nothing, and although I did use my crate maker for the very first time.
It looks so good. I like it.
Was it? Be honest. Was that your very first one? Or was that the
No, that was my very first one.
Like the my mom sixth try, and they're like, he was like,
no,
okay,
no,
now
no.
I can take a picture.
No. That was the very first one. I promise.
Look good.
And then, I cut my hair so that way people stop saying I look like I'm coming off a 10-week bender or whatever. like I have for the last 2 weeks.
That's how you know Brian doesn't drink much. He called it Bender, not Bender.
Yeah, well, whatever. But yeah, so I was like, cut my hair, do a little nothing, and then hopefully I stop looking like a hobo, apparently.
Fair enough. All right, so before we get going, I do want to announce one thing because we are in the craze of the rookie draftees, if you will. And because of that, and because we had a number of rookies reach out to us about coming on the show, we knew that we couldn't put together all of these hopefuls on one show on a Sunday evening. And so upcoming this Thursday, we're going to have what we're just calling simply the Rookie Draftee Special here on POV. It's going to go live at 6 o'clock, and we're going to have, at the moment, at least 10 rookies who are looking to get drafted join us. We're going to have a number of people who are involved in it. If you know a rookie who wants to be involved in it and they haven't messaged us yet, you can shoot them a little message. But Christian put it up on the Facebook group. He put it up on Twitter. And so most have seen it by now, and we're planning accordingly. So this Thursday, you'll see us with a number of rookies, just giving them a chance, again, a platform to speak out if nobody's ever met them before. If they don't really have a chance to meet the managers or talk to the managers, this is their chance, and we'll make sure managers get to see it, and they'll be noticed at the slightest. So, yeah, this Thursday, guys. All right. Well, if we are good to go, we can bring in our first guest here on tonight's show, and that is.
Before we go, I just realized since my hair's shorter, now you guys can actually see my pops in the background.
The poop was covering the pops.
Yeah, it definitely was.
All right. So our first official guest here is looking to bring in some crazy knowledge to the Star Wars division. And that is Mr. Thomas Harper. What's up?
Hello there. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Welcome. We were talking off screen, but you've been around the Schmoedown community a little bit last couple of days. How's it been so far?
It's been a whirlwind, but I will say the expectation that I had in terms of inclusiveness and how I would be welcomed just as a completely unknown rookie, except for the couple people that I know through other events, has just blown me away. Like, those expectations have been blown away. Everybody has been so nice, so welcoming. All the things that I've heard about the competition in terms of the community behind it have really come true in spades, and it's just been awesome. And I say that as somebody that's at the very bottom of the totem pole, and rightfully so. And so I think it's a character statement that somebody like me that has no street cred in terms of, having not been on a single Schmoedown, to get welcomed like I have, to get invited onto your show and spend some time with you guys. I think that says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about the larger community, and that just makes me that much more excited.
That's awesome. Well, we usually ask this question. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There we go.
There he is.
We usually
Star Wars what?
Oh!
And it's already begun.
I do have a funny story about that.
Already begun.
Go ahead and send Alex the link, just in case.
Funny enough, I will say, so I'm sure we'll get into it, but when I first met or came across Alex and Molly, I was not much on YouTube. I didn't watch a whole lot. I had no clue that you guys, did what you did. I just knew that both of you had this massive cheering section that somehow, with all the random 80,000 strangers at Dragon Con, you guys were popular enough, however, to cobble together this half the room every
Those
final.
Those are just our friends that we wrangle into the room, and we're like, go nuts, it'll be great. And
but I was just like, man, I don't have any friend. My wife would be in the crowd like, woo, you.
Those are the best kinds, though. Just the one. Woo.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you got to get those decibel, those rookie decibel numbers. You got to get that loudness up. But then I found out that the YouTube page and all of that and all the great things that you guys do in the community, and I immediately ate my shoe. I was like, that's why. Okay, whether they're friends or fans, they're well earned either way.
Honestly, it was mostly just our friends, and it's become tradition to see how far we can push Daniel before he's just like, get out. Daniel is who runs and puts together the Dragon Con.
He hosted it this year, right? Over virtual?
He does it every
Yeah.
year.
Okay.
He
Okay.
makes the trivia. So yeah,
Cool.
we like to press his buttons.
Molly, does that mean you have like a certain little section in the crowd that's just Slave Leia costume?
Just
People
all
cheering
the
on?
slave Leias are just.
They usually wait till later in the night to put that on.
That would be a good tactic, though, because I feel like that would throw off a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, no matter who is wearing the costume, what gender they are, it would have an effect.
Yeah.
All right, so we usually have obviously people who are involved in the league already on this show, and we always start with one question. I feel like I can ask the same exact question to you, but what is it about the Schmoedown that wants to get you involved, or that you want to get involved in this trivia league community? Is it the sport aspect? Is it just the trivia? Is it all of it?
I will say, Molly can attest to this. I have been bugging at least Alex for years now, like in his ear, in his DMs, to get in Christian's ear, to at least give me a shot in this. I love the community that exists out there, and the more I learn about it, the more excited I get. But I love the trivia aspect. I love the competitiveness. I love the fact that it's a strategic league. You've got teams of like-minded folks, but they're in a horse race of sorts against each other, and it's the nerdiest possible thing, and I absolutely love it. And I didn't grab it to hold it up as a show and tell, but way back when I was like 10, 11, there was a Star Wars collectible card game by a company called Decipher before Wizards of the Coast got the license. And I played this card game when most people, like most other kids my age, were playing like Pokemon and Magic and stuff. And so I didn't always have like money to buy cards or folks to play with. So I would soak all the cards. If you ever like Google them, the Star Wars CCG have like a little bit of flavor text at the top. And it's always like a little bit of facts about the character or the weapon. And I would just sit there and read those cards. It like sounds kind of sad, but I would just like wait for other Star Wars players to kind of mull into the shop. And I would just like soak up this knowledge. And I didn't have money to buy cards often. So, if I didn't have a card to trade, I literally created, this is going to sound like such a bratty thing to do, because it absolutely was. I created a 5-level quiz that I would challenge people to. And if they could make it through it, I would give them one of like a card of their choice out of my trade binder. But if they failed, I either got money, so they had to put up a couple bucks, and like $2 as a 10-year-old is like $500 now, or I got a card out of their trading, and you put the card on the line at the start. So this was like full on Vegas type stuff. And so,
Oh my God.
and I still have all my cards. They're scattered all around me, but I also have that bratty quiz that I have. And there's a ranking system at the end. So like Star Wars trivia has been like in my blood for a long time, from like being like a obnoxious jackass as a 10-year-old until being an obnoxious like 30-something-year-old, I guess now. So the chance to do that during the year, Dragon Con's always been fun. The chance to do that on the Schmoedown's awesome.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
God. I need to see this quiz that you wrote up. Like, I need
I'll tweet. It's
please
embarrassing. And
No,
horrendous.
I'm so obsessed with this right now.
There you go.
I do too, Alex. Same. I want to take this card quiz.
The term true fan is so loaded right now, but I will go ahead and fully admit that in the rating system at the end that I devised, where it's like if you get 0 to 1, 0 to 3 questions right, you're bantha poodoo. But again and again for the lower like ratings, it's like you're not a true fan. And I look back, I'm like, I want to hop in a time machine and slap my 10-year-old self. Like, what are you thinking, man? Come on. Not the way to make friends.
There you go.
You got cards out of it though.
Yeah, I was
so.
gonna say, but you did get cards out of it.
I did get a few. Yeah, like gatekeeping my way into like meager prizes, I guess.
Brian, I'll start with you. Do you have anything you want to ask Thomas?
Flat out, right off the gate, what's your favorite of the Star Wars movies?
So as a kid growing up, it was Jedi 1000%. Like you cannot beat the Battle of Endor. And if I've got 15 minutes, I will just put that on. Now with Disney Plus, it's easy to just queue it right up. I found as an adult, I gravitate a lot more towards Empire, and so those will just always have a special place in my heart. That said, I look at like movie rankings for Star Wars, and I see it more in terms of like, if I've got an hour and a half to spend watching something, what Star Wars movie am I more likely to put on? Jedi and Empire right at the top of the list, and then I sort of rank order them from there. So it's not like the bottom the last movie is one that I just hate. It's just one that I might not get around to watching but a couple times a year.
Fair enough.
We do have a question from a comment here, Brian, and I want to make sure I get to this. Is there a specific competitor that's already in the league that you would like to debut against?
Well, I'm not going to kid myself. I told you guys this before the show, but I'm fully aware, I need to get drafted first. So there's sort of that bar to entry. And so I hope that a manager out there that's watching this sees something in me that warrants a pickup there during the draft. But I don't kid myself that at the bottom of the totem pole, you got to work your way up before you face off against somebody like Molly or Alex. I get the honor of facing off against them every year. At least we all subject ourselves at Dragon Con to that quiz, and more often than not, the three of us are in the finals. So obviously that's going after the title is the end goal. But I think I love Laura Kelly, and she's a great person. She's a great competitor, but strength recognizes strength, and she's out there gunslinging, and I have a hell of a lot of respect for the talent that she brings to the table. But, I want to face off against her. So whenever that opportunity arises, if I earn it, I'll be happy to do it.
I love it.
I'm terrified too. So when we did that celebration match, that was her debut, and she blew me away. Like, that ended, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, we're all really in big trouble.
She's really good.
Jill, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
I do. I want to save it for the end. I'm trying to think. I have.
Oh, that's right. That's right. My bad. Molly.
That's fine. I was like, I
that's right. Sorry. Molly, do you have anything?
I do have a question though.
Okay. Fair enough.
Where can I get that choking out Darth Vader statue? Because
I love it.
I'm obsessed with that.
If my house were burning down
Explain
and
your
my
whole background to me, please, because I just want the.
Y'all can come join me. I have a big old kitchen table that I sit at here, and so no, if my house were burning down and you're like, Thomas, you can go in and save one Star Wars collectible, I would run in and save that stupid little statue there. It's the first. If you've bought any like it's a sideshow statue from. A number of years ago. If you've like bought anything or like fallen down that rabbit hole, you know exactly how addictive that stuff is. Like Hot Toys.
Look at the guy above you, because that's exactly what you're talking about.
I've got
my Ahsoka. I've got my Hot Toys Mando back here.
You guys know that was the gateway drug. There was the Vader choking Antilles. So that's been with me through. Like, I was on active duty in the Army for a while. And that's survived like multiple military moves. It survived my deployment and getting put into storage for a year. So that thing's been through a lot with me, and I would gladly run back in during a fire to save it.
I will say for you Schmoedown managers, who other player on the league has a statue of someone choking someone in the background?
True.
There you go. That's all you need to know. Molly, do you have anything you want to ask Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a ton of Star Wars trivia, and to compete in Dragon Con trivia, you have to know the really just bonkers, silly stuff. What do you have like a favorite piece of trivia that you've come across in all of your time of being a Star Wars nerd that you're just like, I really hope I get asked this question one day?
I feel like that's a really great question. I feel like if you've interacted with me at all on Twitter, and I say you like writ large to the audience, and you guys, how big of a Y-Wing fan that I am. And I would love
That's my favorite shit. And everyone gives me shit for it.
No,
Everyone.
you and I just became best friends. So
Yes.
you're welcome at my old kitchen table here. So, no, I would love like any Y-Wing related trivia. I think it's awesome. Like the bit of trivia, everybody knows Wedge Antilles survive and Luke obviously survive the Death Star run. I don't know that this would qualify necessarily for Schmoedown because it kind of crosses the boundary into some non-film stuff, but naming the Y-Wing pilot that survives and the designation of that Y-Wing pilot, which member of Gold Squadron that was. I think that's it. That character is awesome. Yvonne Verlaine. Look, I didn't come on here to take abuse.
It's just funny because he's sitting in the other room behind Molly, right, commenting these.
He's in here just like
in the dark, like Gollum style. Like,
yeah,
this like the Emperor. He's just watching.
No, yeah, like anything like that. My greatest fear is that you get a question like that and then you freeze on it, or it's something you don't know, and then like not only do you get it wrong, but like you're like, my whole life is a lie. So
PJ,
I say that with my fingers crossed.
PJ's sitting right now watching this like, oh, I'm gonna stump him.
That's right.
I do have another question, and I will. Alex actually texted me to remind me about this, but I see the San Diego Comic-Con thing back there. Yeah. Tell us about the mock trial.
Yeah, so I got involved with a group called the Legal Geeks, and he comes. I keep distracting me. It's a podcast that also does con appearances, and it's also a blog as well, so you can read some of our written stuff. But we take a look at legal issues in pop culture, and I exclusively do Star Wars. I'm a military lawyer by trade, JAG officer. And so it's stuff like, could the Mandalorian legally go out and kill bounties? Is like a dead or alive bounty a lawful thing? Can he legally adopt Grogu at a certain point in
That's
Mandalorian?
So cool.
Yeah, so it's like weird. It's like really kind of odd stuff that you're probably thinking about. Like a great example, we did a mock trial at WonderCon, the sort of sister con to Comic-Con, about whether C-3PO and R2 were discriminated against when they got thrown out of the cantina in A New Hope. And so this mock trial, this was 2018. We court-martialed Poe Dameron. So we had a full-on mock court-martial, like all the rules of an actual court-martial got brought in. I was a prosecutor. Everybody involved, with the exception of our witnesses, was not only the witnesses were in cosplay too. So we were Republic officers, or resistance officers, I should say. We had attorneys, both as defense counsel for Poe, and I was one of the prosecutors. We had an actual federal judge presiding over it, like hearing actual objections. I stood up. There was a panel right before us, and Comic-Con does not clear out the room between panels, so a lot of people were kind of sitting there. And I got up to the mic during the Q&A of the panel, and I just said, look, I'm going to raise an objection because it seems like there are a lot of Poe Dameron fans in this jury, and that's just bias. Like, the resistance won't stand for this sort of thing. So we court-martialed him for disobeying Leia's order to break off the engagement above Dakar at the beginning of The Last Jedi. And it was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, Google Poe Dameron court-martial, you'll find it. It's just fun top to bottom. The two cosplayers that we have, one playing Poe and the other playing Leia, are just phenomenal. They blow the rest of us out of the water. They're in character. They were in character the whole day, quite frankly, and they just carry the show. It's just awesome. The judge lets the audience decide. It was a surprising verdict as far as I'm concerned. And then he renders a judgment. He hands down a sentence at the end, which is a lot of fun. And I probably spoiled the verdict there, but
it's so good, guys. Check it out.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm intrigued. I'm
That
very
sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jill, before we get to you, because we will have to wrap up here in the next 5 to 8 minutes or so, I do have a Streamlabs that did come through. This came from Dragon17, and he or she had said, Molly and Alex, Thomas seemed very confident yesterday. I think he feels he will beat both of you. I hope that gives you two motivation to study even harder.
You know what? Our whole lives are studying. Whatever happens, happens.
I feel like it's like a sweet release. If it ever happens, it's like, oh, thank God. Like,
I mean,
Oh no.
Oh no!
There he is.
go back to your cave.
Your cave.
All right, Jill, do you want to go ahead and fire some things off right now?
I do. It's only one simple question, but I think all the rookies, if they want to be in this division, they should be able to do it. We're going to test a little bit of improv skills here. Let's say that your first match, you're drafted, your first match in the Star Wars division is against Joseph Scrimshaw. I want you to drop a promo.
I would hate you if you did this to me, by the way. Just so you know. I would hate you.
I'll be Joseph and I'll just stroke my beard
Just real quick. There we go.
and be
Joseph,
very wise.
I know you've seen Rogue One, and what I want you to know about this match is that you're the rebel trooper there on the Profundity at the end, at the Battle of Scarif. I'm Darth Vader coming through with my boarding party. But what's not going to be available to you is Leia. What's not going to be available to you is the Tantive V4. And what's not going to be available to you is any escape. So I hope you're ready for this. You can go ahead and lay down your blaster now. Let's get started.
I have chills.
Bravo.
Bravo. All right, well, before we get out of here, we always end the show or end our segment with our guests with one simple question for POV. And that is, what is your favorite movie snack and your favorite candy?
Man, I will put away an entire bucket of popcorn. I cannot watch. I could eat dinner right before the movie. Like, I could go to a theater that serves like a full menu and eat a full dinner, and I will still order a bucket of popcorn and somehow put it away. And I used to, back in my college days, I would go to the movies. I would order the bucket of popcorn and then 2 of the big boxes of cookie dough bites. And those things are still, that's like the one ring that's out there that's so tempting to me. I look at them in the glass there and I'm like, man, I would like to go back to those days. I would house the popcorn, and then both of those cookie dough bites would be gone. And, I'd be left wondering how and why. So. But that's it. And that's what I look forward to. Everybody's like, I don't know if I'll go back to the theater after COVID. I'm like, I will be first in line when it's safe to go, because
I need those
Orville
bites.
I know. Orville Redenbacher does not cut it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Fair. Do you have a favorite candy?
I will, well, peanut butter M&Ms, if they're available. I will put an industrial size tub of those away as well.
Awesome. We can't thank you enough for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
We really looking forward to the draft here in the next couple weeks and seeing your name called. I know that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing you compete this year in the Schmoedown. So good luck on everything.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Whew. All right. First one out of the way. We have a couple more
That's
coming
awesome.
very shortly. I know Christina is waiting in the background. What do you guys think so far? Thomas Harper. I know, Molly, that you know him, but chances in the Schmoedown this upcoming season.
Good.
Chances like getting in or like,
Getting drafted, playing, competing.
I mean, I think everyone has a good of a chance as everyone else. I have no idea. I don't know people well enough, but I like him. I dig it. I'd love to see him play a few people.
Yeah. I mean, all the people in the draft from Dragon Con have beaten Alex at one point or another in Dragon Con trivia. So there's your proof that he can be beaten.
He also
Alright.
seems like he knows Schmoedown, which for me is a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Seems
want you
like
to come here. I don't want you to come in here to hype your YouTube channel. I don't want you to come and do any of that stuff. I want you to know Schmoedown.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
Schmoedown,
Seems like he's doing some research. That's good.
yeah, which is great. I'm very
All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get to our next guest here. And it's a name that before a few weeks ago, I had never heard of Christina, but she seems to be popping up everywhere on everyone's draft lists. And
Everyone
let's
gets
go ahead
very excited when she's mentioned anywhere. So
that is very, very true. So let's go ahead and bring her in. Welcoming to POV, Christina Vasalo. How's it going?
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Thank you for
Hello.
having me.
Of course. Welcome to
Welcome.
the craziness of Schmoedown after shows and being inside the Schmoedown.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I found out that I was on the draft list when I got a alert on my phone. It was like Christian Harloff tagged you in a post.
And you're like,
And I was like, why would Christian Harloff tag me in a post? And at first, I will say the picture that was chosen was like questionable. And I was like, I literally was like, that was what I looked like in the picture. It was like the YouTube cut.
Yeah.
Every competitor is questionable about the pictures that are
Right.
chosen. So
Yeah.
welcome to the club.
Oh, all my friends are here.
There you go. All of them. They're all very excited.
Oh, look at the chat is blowing
Yep.
up. Oh, girl, get it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I don't know a lot about you, so this is why we asked you to come on the show. We're very excited to have you be part of the draft list and everything about that. But it seems like you've been kind of involved in the community for a while on the outside.
Yeah.
What is it about the Schmoedown that gets you so interested and excited?
Yeah, I'm just a regular person. I'm not I don't YouTube or anything like that. I'm a teacher. I teach 7th graders, so I'm just
7th grade.
Same here.
7th graders. So
They're wild.
yeah.
I bet they think that this is super cool. Do they know about the Schmoedown?
No, they don't know. They don't. They like say words to me. Like they're always like, "Yeah, check me out on Twitch." I'm like, I literally can't even figure out how to sign into that, guys. I'm like, I'm too old for you. Like they're all doing like VR stuff. Like they don't. I try to ask them about movies, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you guys, I'm not telling you about this. You're just
They're all on the TikTok, taking their videos.
Oh yeah, like it's remote teaching. Like, can we make a TikTok? And I'm like, I'm literally like teaching you something, but like,
It's so
I'm like, am
true.
I on TikTok right now though? Like that's like where I'm like, am I on TikTok and Snapchat, guys? And they're like, no, but like, do you want us to tell you all the other teachers we've been recording?
They
That's how you know you got cool students. Though, 'cause, we'll tell you the tea. We'll tell you who else we recorded. We're going to see it. Like,
Yeah, they've
have
definitely
no shame.
Yeah, they've
No
memed me, and like it'll be like they'll email it to me like, I just want to let you know I made a meme of you. I'm like, this is
Oh.
Every time-
at least they tell you though.
yes, at least they tell me.
You know?
There's
How
been
many
a lot of
times
times.
how many times have you like been teaching? Because this happens to me all the time, and all of a sudden you look and you see him going like,
Oh yeah, and then
I'm like, hello, what are you doing?
I literally just start doing it too, and I'm like, what up, guys? I don't know, let's pay attention.
Every day.
Yeah,
Out of those.
all the time. Like they're always like, can you whoa? And I'm like, can we whoa back to work? Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about the Schmoedown. You guys don't need to know about my personal life.
I love it though.
yeah. So actually my husband got me into the Schmoedown. He is actually the movie buff in the family. He posted his audition video on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page, and I make a cameo at the end. So if you haven't seen it, check out Anthony
Love a good
Chishol's.
cameo. Of
Yeah, because he comes dressed to impress, unlike me right now, but I gotta go to bed soon. Oh, there, hey boo.
Aw.
But he's the movie nerd. So he like our basement has like no joke, like 2,000 DVDs, like all
love
alphabetized.
it.
So like I
Wow.
remember, yeah, like one day I came home from work and he's like, he quick changed something. I was like, what? He's like, I found this like movie trivia show. Like you're gonna think it's weird. And I was like, no, let's watch it. Like I like movies. We used to go to bar trivia when like that was a thing pre-COVID. So like let's see what we got. So that was like 2016, like back in season 3. And I'm like, this is great. Like that was like the height of Makuga Mads. I'm like all about it. So we're like, this is great. And like it just kind of, we haven't missed a match since. So we've been like the live events in New York. So like, yeah, we're just like huge Schmoedown fans. And then when Christian made the call for, hey, are there any women that are interested? I was like, well, I'm a girl. So
I'm one of those.
yeah. At that point, like that was the qualification. Like, are you a woman? And so I was like, yes. So I will shoot my shot.
Yep.
Very fair, very fair. Okay, we do have a couple comments that have come through. I also have 2 Streamlabs that I want to read off here in just a second. But Brian asked, same question as last time, which competitor would you want to face off against if you do get drafted?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would have the most fun ever playing Stacey Howard, because I think I think we would just be talking mad poop on everybody. So like, I'm from New Jersey,
Yes.
right outside of Philly. I got that. The attitude comes out quick. I'm a typical Eagles fan where it's like you talk a lot of smack, but you don't always back it up kind of thing. So I don't know if I would win. I don't even know if I would play well against her because I'd probably be so nervous, but we would have a great time and people watching would have a good time. And sometimes that's really what it's about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Leo came in and said, which faction do you picture yourself in?
I mean, the dream.
Hey, that was my question, Leo.
Oh. Viewers come first, Brian.
I know.
I mean, the dream is obviously Shannon. She's the queen for the reason. I feel like again, heel would probably be my natural personality. Again, I'm from New Jersey, and that's just
I don't want to be stereotypical because I also have family in Jersey. You're Italian, yes.
100%, yes.
Sorry, girl. I got my family from Jersey too.
Yes,
I feel ya.
I've watched Jersey Shore. It's not wrong, like you know what I mean.
Yeah. No one from Jersey likes.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's like because it's not wrong. So I think it would be fun. I think she needs a little she talks a lot of smack and everybody else backs it up. But I think she could also use somebody else that's willing to help her out with some of the smack talk because the boys are so serious.
Mm-hmm.
So
They really are.
She could. I think it would be fun to do a match and have her manage me. I think we would be able to talk a lot. I just want to talk a lot of smack. That's really it. And then and answer some questions.
Oh, you're gonna be a face. Okay, got it.
Yeah, right. I just want to cut promos and then be like, all right, bye.
Very fair. Very fair. Okay, 2 Streamlabs have come in specifically for you. The first one's from Kylie, and she had said, in honor of my girl Christina, I'm allowed to consume multiple Long Island iced teas. Christina, what manager do you think can handle that all awesome, amazing, young badass that you totally are? So pretty much is answered. Is there anyone other than Shannon though, outside of Shannon?
I mean, literally anyone that would have me, but Winston's cool. I like to pretend I have swag. Coy is hilarious. I hung out with him a little bit after one of the comedy shows by the Schmoedown. So he was a great time. So I just think we would gel, but honestly, anybody who wanted me, I'd be happy to play for them. I think I can work with anybody.
Perfect. Next one's from Tim Sim, and he says, does Christina have any movie trivia experience from fan leagues or anywhere else that can be useful for the Schmoedown if drafted?
I do play in the fan leagues. I was new. Yeah, so I started out in February, and then the world ended, and I was like, oh well, I don't have anything else to do, so let me just harass everyone that runs a family to be like, please let me play, please let me play, please let me play. And the only person that actually ever listened to me is my friend Tony, who runs the Feature Presentations channel. And my girl Peggy and I, who's also in the draft, we are a great team. We are undefeated when we play together. I've played a couple Full Metal Classics. So yeah, there is a few, there's some tape on me. I do have some fan league experience. But yeah, Feature Presentations is my spot. And my girl Peggy is she's also in the draft, so hopefully she gets picked up.
Yeah, and a little plug on that. We're working on it, but Peggy could possibly be joining us on Thursday for the draftee special, so you will be able to see her there as well. Okay, Molly, do you have anything that you would like to ask Christina?
I do. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to give anything away, but is there a particular slice on the wheel that is your favorite genre or just favorite slice in general as far as movie trivia goes?
I mean, I really like rom-coms. I also really like family films. I feel like my entire, all the 90s family films, I feel like I've just seen all of them. And I always get so bummed when nobody stays on them.
I was just going to say that's a rare slice. That's a very rare slice.
What did you guys do as children? What did
you were watching classics apparently. Have you met Paul? Yeah. He was 22 and
right. But then I'm also I grew up in a house with no video games, so it was always just and we're 3 girls, so it was we just watched all of the family films. Mm-hmm. So those would probably be my 2 favorite. I really like those 2.
Nice.
Love it.
While people in the chat
are Ed's don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, I said favorite. That doesn't necessarily mean that's your top strength. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Plus, managers need to know. Managers need to know.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Mr. Brian, do you got anything?
So I'm assuming you're going singles and teams. correct?
Yes, because the conversation you guys were having earlier, I literally know nothing about that.
Don't you want to hop in the Star Wars League though? It's fun. It's fun.
I'm a proud 32-year-old woman who has never seen one single second of Star Wars.
Oh my goodness!
I know. And you know what?
Wow.
At this point, I got to keep the streak going. Like when I'm telling you,
That's fair.
you guys were saying words I didn't
At this
know.
point, just keep it going, girl. Just
Right.
do
Yeah.
you.
You might end up as the only person ever to not see a single second of Star Wars.
Yes.
My
Not one single
favorite
second.
thing about this though is like whenever I hear about people who have never seen any of the Star Wars movies, I'm like, please watch them and please live tweet the entire like all of the movies. I need to know your immediate reactions and thoughts to these movies. Someone who's never seen any of them, because that's always so interesting to me.
Chuck, you're so right. Chuck, you are so right.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
That's
That's
totally fine.
So Inner Geekdom, not for me, but like kudos to everyone that likes it.
So now, with being in singles and teams, if you were in a dream world and just got to team up with someone, who would you like to team up with?
Oh, that's another. Again, this is just I'm going off of like I just want to have a good time. Like I would want someone
Did you
to
see
like
Kaiser last year? That's exactly what you did.
Kaiser said,
So.
who do I want to have a drink with after we take it?
right. Like that's how I like to me. I feel like if you're gonna be, you know what you know. You know what I mean? Like that's on your own studying. But I feel like when you're a team with somebody, when you're a partner with somebody, you need to have like a level of trust and respect, and you need to know that you guys are going to support each other. I think Janine is just like the coolest human being ever. I would love to be her partner in the sense of that I just think we would work so well together, that we would just be able to bounce ideas. I think we have similar strengths, but I think that, she definitely has more geek than I do, that we could probably, balance each other out. And I just think overall, she's an excellent human being, that I think we would just do good things together. But that's dream world, I'm not even technically on the list. So
Don't rule it out.
Hey, she's been looking for that stable partner. Tell you that much.
She has.
She has been. Jill, do you got anything?
Yeah, since you have said that you would love to drop a good promo, this is going to be my thing when it comes to the rookies. I want to see your improv skills. So, let's say you are drafted, and let me see. I'm going to pick a random singles player. Your first match is against Lon Harris. I would like you to drop.
You pick Lon of all people.
If you want to be in this league, you got to know how to drop a promo.
I
Let's
immediately went to like Brandon Hanna or someone like that.
Lon Harris.
Right. I feel like I'm like Sharpay Evans, All right. Hey, Lon. Oh, you finally figured out what day it was? Did you get off your couch to get here? Oh, that's right, because we have a match to play, and you get to play me. And that means I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to look good doing it. But I will look good. I won't look like this.
Girl, you look good. You look good.
The first sentence, hey, you figured out what day it was? That's all you need to say.
Stopped.
That's all you need to say.
What day it was, what match you're at, if you're in this match.
What YouTube show it is.
That's so good. That is so good. Okay. One Streamlabs has come through, and this is from Aaron. And he says, shout out to Christina's new podcast, Digesting Cinema, available on all podcast platforms now.
Girl, plug it.
Plug.
So again, feature presentations. My boy Tony came up with a letterboxed challenge for the entire year. So the whole point of it is there's 52 categories, and you pick a new movie a week that you've never seen before based on whatever category it is. So we're going down the list. So last week we did 1960s. Our podcast was about Funny Girl, and we just finished recording our 1970s pick of Kramer versus Kramer. So it's all movies that Aaron and I have not seen before, and we're just going to go down the list, and you guys can follow along. We are on Spotify, we are on Anchor, we are on iTunes, and you guys can find the list on Letterboxd, and Tony will probably put it in the chat.
That's awesome.
It's fun,
Yeah, that's really
a
cool.
fun idea. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen one chat comment has come through. This is from Justin is a Square. Why isn't asking any serious questions? Can someone please ask Christina if she believes in the Schmoedown?
That's a good question, Justin. We want to hear it.
I will say I didn't until a guy got snatched up, and then I was like, like,
Okay.
that was so scary. I was like, what is that? What is that face?
That's scary as shit.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, no, the Schmoedown is not real. This is like, no, this is, I don't do things like that. Like, I don't believe in stuff like that. And then I was like, oh no, I believe now. I'm a believer.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for Christina before we move on to the big finale question?
Do you have a problem being drafted in the 4th round?
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm happy to be somebody's 12th round pick. I don't care.
Ryan coming in with the fire.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I mean, are you saying, am I going to pull a Roka and whine about where I'm drafted? Because I don't whine. In my audition video, I made it perfectly clear that I will not be a whiner. I'm going to put my big girl panties on and make sure that I'm happy wherever I get picked. So,
Yes, big girl panties.
big girl panties. So,
Yes.
yeah, if I'm somebody's 12th round pick, I'll be pumped. So, I don't care.
Oh my god.
Holy Jesus.
This is Brian.
It's a
I
valid
can't-
question.
I'm going to
It
clip
is.
this out and send it specifically to Roka. I cannot wait to see
Oh,
what
wait,
I do not
happens.
want him coming after us again.
He's gonna want to come back on the show and yell at us, and I don't want to
Alright,
get
so
yelled at.
I will be in the exchange, so I'll just cross that one off.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so,
Okay,
so good.
favorite movie then. How about this? Since so you're not giving it away, because that could be a strength. Favorite movie that you like just could watch over and over and over again. It might not even have to be a good movie.
Oh, my favorite movie that I can watch over and over. First of all, anything with Chris Evans in it. Like, thank you, God, for creating that man. But my favorite one is What's Your Number with him and Anna Faris. That
Oh
is,
my
like,
god, that movie's so good.
I love
It's
that
so
movie.
good.
That's when I truly fell in love with him, and I was like, we're gonna get married. He doesn't know we're dating, but like, Chris, if you're watching, like, hey boo, love you.
There you go, Peggy with Schmoedown Community. You've been put on notice. Christina V is coming in, and she's coming in hot.
Hi, Peggy.
There you go.
I'm kind of curious. I
I
want to
know.
see you guys as partners now, and I don't even know how that would work.
I mean, we would be pretty spectacular because we've already been pretty spectacular, so it can only get better.
Schmoedown managers. There you go.
Yeah.
Schmoedown managers. There you go.
Save that clip, and then save that clip of you saying that, and then one day when you're at a spectacular as a team, you will play that clip.
Play it.
Oh, that would be fun.
Eric, clip it out. Clip it out, Eric.
All right, we'll wrap it up with the big POV question here. Favorite movie snack and your favorite candy.
My favorite movie snack is popcorn. And here's where I'll break hearts again. I don't eat candy.
Oh,
I know it's just like a thing I never got into. I'm just not like a sweets person. So my husband really likes Milk Duds, so I'll say that answer.
they're so good, but they get stuck in your teeth.
I know. I remember when I had braces, and I love Milk Duds, but braces and Milk Duds is
Yeah.
like
No,
a
the worst.
tragedy.
Yeah, the go-to combo is really like the popcorn and the cherry Coke. And that's like that brings me right. I'm like 2005. I'm right back in high school, like seeing Wedding Crashers. Like that it transports me back every time.
Yes.
I'll raise you and I'll say a cherry icy.
Ooh, that is good.
I'll do a cherry icy with popcorn.
Right. It's like the only time it's appropriate for me to like
Yeah.
drink all that stuff.
Well, Christina, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a short bit. I know you're on the East Coast, so thank you for
Yep.
stopping by for a little bit.
Thank you guys for having me. It was awesome.
Yeah, of course. We're glad to give you a little platform for managers to see you, and hopefully this did some justice going forward, and we look forward to seeing the draft.
Thank you guys so much. I look forward to the rookie summit you guys have coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
My people are going to be in there, so look out for them.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Christina. We'll see you later.
Hey guys, good night.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Oh,
Whoa.
Whoa. Get me into that.
Sure.
All
Didn't
right,
even
now
do
it's his show. And the peasants in the corner.
She killed it.
That was great. I mean,
Killed it.
we kind of need that a little
for
bit of that
two.
spark in this league, right? We get
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit with the Boston people, but we don't really get it with the New Jersey,
We
New
need
York
some of
people
that
too much.
Jersey flavor up in here. We need some of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Give it.
That'll be fun. Well, while we wait for our next guest, because Mr. Sean Chandler will be popping in here very shortly, I do want to ask you guys about this this new point system, and we'll get into this as well after we have our time with Sean a little bit. But we can start off here. This new point system that has been set up for 2021, the season, as far as how these points rank, and the KO TKO rule, the +1 -1. the fact that spectacular matches will be worth 10 points with the possibility of 12 points with the TKO KO rule. Do you guys like it? Do you think it's a little too much? What are your thoughts on this?
I need a refresher course.
I got you. Let me look it up.
Me too.
Let me look it up. I got
There were
you.
changes, but
Molly's like vacation.
I know.
Oh,
Right?
That's right.
I don't know when
Sorry.
this stuff was announced, and I probably should have been paying attention, but I.
No, you unplugged.
Your match is worth 50 points now. So
Yay!
Okay, so here we go. So
You guys lose 50 points.
So,
don't
the
care.
regular season for singles and teams, 2 points for a W. A TKO will result in a -1
That's
point
right.
for
You
the
lose
losing.
points if you
Oh.
A -1 point for the losing faction.
I
The
like
KO will result in a +1 on top of the winning points already for the winning faction, as well as a negative point for the losing faction.
I like it.
I like that. To be
Yeah,
honest.
so I
Molly's
think that's
not
huge.
sure.
Also,
Molly's not sure how she feels about that.
As a player, I feel like it's hard enough to lose one. Are we gonna pile it on and give you negative for losing?
That's
That-
fair.
I don't
it
think
makes those matches a little bit more.
I get that too. I do get that too from the player standpoint. I do get that. I do say that I do like the additional point for the TKO KO because I feel like if you do get that, you definitely should be awarded for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got. So if they lose, the team doesn't lose points, right? Just a
So
plain
it
normal-
only -1 point only happens if it's a TKO or a KO.
Okay, cool.
That's all that happens. Which I think that's fair. I really like the
I do too.
adjustment.
It
It
I-
makes
I
matches
feel
that
like
much more
that's really
important.
fun, though.
They're not just going to be throwaway matches or these fun matches. All these matches are they're going to have to be important. And it might be a little pushback from the manager standpoint of being like, if someone schedules a match, they might say, well, this is uneven. What happens at a TKO, KO? I don't agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be a lot of swapping going in and out with players playing each other.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes things more interesting because you could have a faction who, say a faction just drafts poorly, players don't live up to what they're supposed to, and a faction could realistically not end up with negative points, but hypothetically can end up with negative points, which is crazy.
But it also pushes what Christian told us either a week or two ago that managers can literally drop players.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So that also plays into it too. So when they named this season War, they were not kidding around. Like,
Exactly.
it's gonna be a war.
A season of a whole lot of new. That's what it should have been called.
Okay, we'll get back to that because there are some stuff about title matches and spectacular points, everything. But our next guest has arrived. He is here. You may know him from his YouTube channel, but he is Mr. Sean Chandler, and he is officially part of the Schmoedown community. What's up, man?
Hey, not much. You're lucky I was actually able to be on here. I live in Austin, Texas, and we had the biggest snowstorm in 70 years.
Whoa.
And so, we don't know how to function in Texas when you get this much snow. I woke up and it snowed from when I woke up until the sun went down. I was like, my mind is blown. I've been here basically my whole life and I've never seen this stuff before. So I almost died from just shock of all the snow. And
I saw that was trending on Twitter that it was snowing in Texas and everybody was like losing their minds.
yes, we don't know what to do. So we're just like running around outside and then we're like, wait, why are my hands hurting? I don't understand. Wait, oh, you need gloves?
That's awesome.
Like, are your guys' works like don't come in because like it's snowing? And if it's anything like California, y'all don't know how to drive in that.
No, we don't. Yeah, so at 1:00, we received a package from Amazon. Like they were still delivering stuff to us. And then a few hours later, I got an email saying your delivery was canceled. We don't know how to drive in the snow. And
Say that we don't know how to drive in snow.
that might have been an exaggeration, but that was my interpretation of what it said.
Basically.
Essentially, that's what it said. And then even though our kids' school is a 30-second walk that way from our house, school was canceled. So for tomorrow, they're like, we don't know what's going to happen, but if we don't cancel it now, someone's going to crash into something.
The same thing happens in Georgia. If it snows or it gets icy, everybody's like, nope, life is canceled today. Everybody stay home. If you go outside, you will die.
If it rains for 5 minutes in California, we get flash flood warning.
Yeah, it's
You guys, Southern California, when it rains, they're like, we forgot how to drive. We forgot how to drive.
It's sprinkling. It's like, flash flood warnings. Everyone forgets how to drive. What are we doing? I can only imagine what would happen if it snowed down here. Good Lord. Nope.
Well, again, Sean, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. I know you're on the Central Time there, but we do have a basic question we want to start off with. And,
Okay.
History with the Schmoedown. What is it about the Schmoedown that gets you excited about entering this year into the draft?
So, I mean, this whole thing's pretty surreal for me because back before I started my YouTube channel, I was just like everybody else, watching Schmoedown, Movie Talk, Stuckman, John's, Flickinger, all these people. I was just like everybody else in the comment section watching this stuff. And I went, hey, I could start one of these deals, and started a YouTube channel. And I was lucky enough that now I get to do this full time. And so, I mean, back in the day, I had the Schmoedown app on my phone and everything like that, and would watch each week and everything like that. And so jump back to last May, someone just kind of tweeted out randomly like, hey, I'd love to see Sean Chandler in the Schmoedown. Would you ever be willing to be on there? And I kind of responded back like, hey, if Christian was ever interested or anything like that, I would say yes in a heartbeat. And he responded to the message, and he friended me on Twitter, or followed me on Twitter. I was like, wait, what just happened? Christian just followed me? This is crazy. And so then we started interacting back and forth. He's like, hey, man, if you want to join the draft, it'll be next January. Absolutely. Jump forward to, 6 weeks back. Someone, once again, threw that idea that, hey, Sean, you should join the draft. And then I was like, I've actually already communicated with Christian. And he sent me another message. And I was like, wait, what? This is really happening? Wait, mind blown. And so just even the fact that I had a few back and forths with Christian is really cool to me, because I still feel like someone that's just in the comment section.
Yeah.
And now it's, getting interviewed about being in the draft and all sorts of neat opportunities.
So do you watch regularly all the matches?
No, I just don't have time anymore. I mean, I did back before my channel took off, but pretty much as soon as this started to be like the serious deal, between responding to messages, DMs, creating content, comments, I just can't consume content like I did before. So all the things that I used to watch, it's just really difficult to find the time.
That's fair. Well, now you get
and now, as opposed to before, I have 3 kids and 3 kids under the age of 10. So it keeps me very busy. So
I don't know how you do it.
Neither do I.
All right. So I'll start with Brian. Brian, do you have a question you want to start off by asking Sean?
What division are you looking to hop in, for those of us that aren't quite sure who you are, what your expertise is, all that fun stuff?
So the way it played out was I was just messaging with Christian. I was like, I think I could find a duo. I could be good in singles or maybe interginkdom. And he went, sure, triple threat. And he just threw me into all 3. I was like, wait, we're not going to have a follow-up question? Like
Sounds like Christian.
But my focus is more kind of nerdy comic booky type stuff, but I like movies in general and I think I have a pretty general knowledge of things. So there you have it.
From your background, I see all those. Are they comics?
I see those Funko Pops.
Yeah,
There's
a lunchbox, a Nintendo, Funko Pops, posters, and there's way more stuff if you look around the room, but I could move my camera, but the lights aren't facing that way, so that would be stupid.
So good. All right, Jill, did you have anything you wanted to ask before your hard-hitting stuff?
Before my hard-hitting stuff. Sure. So when you were watching early on in those days, who were your favorite players in the Schmoedown?
I'm trying to think through I watched the first one. It was at Bibiani, and he had like a perfect match.
Okay.
I believe it was like he had a perfect one, and I didn't know who he was at the time, and so it was the first time I interacted. This guy kind of came out of nowhere. He had like chains around his neck. I don't remember if it was the first or second time he was on, and it's like, okay, what's this guy gonna do? And he had a flawless victory, and I was just like, that's the match to me that always just stuck out. I was like, whoa, that guy just destroyed that person. And not because the other guy was bad. This guy he didn't get anything wrong. He knew everything. I was like, oh, wow, That was cool. That's the one that just stands out to me. William Bibiani.
Love Bibiani in this household. We love William.
I stand
He's a-
Bibiani, 100%.
He's a good guy. He's a good
Yeah.
guy.
Well, that
And-
kind of leads into this question from Brian Nussbaum in the chat here. And he says, which competitor would you want to face off against in your debut if you were to be drafted?
Who's not very good? Who's the easiest person right now? My main goal is just not to embarrass myself. So as long as I get one win, I'm okay. I really don't have anyone that's like the person that I just want to face this person or anything like that. Since I've kind of been out of the loop for a couple of years now, I don't really know who to say or what to say. I just don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, I will say this. Bibiani's probably not the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opposite of him. Yeah, let's say that.
Just say Brendan Hanna. Everyone will go with you.
Oh,
Honest.
Brian's throwing shade. More shade.
No. I'm saying everyone else will be like, yeah, beat him. Like, I mean,
Oh,
just saying.
you're going after Brandon Hanna, Brian. I
I
see
love
it.
Brendan. I love Brendan Hanna. So don't even get me. Look, see Kylie. Look, see, she literally said he's allergic to winning.
That's fair.
He's
That's
also allergic to learning the list of movies on IG.
Molly, did you have anything that you wanted to ask Sean?
Yeah. So as a fellow full-time YouTuber, because I was checking out your channel today. What are your favorite kind of videos to make / edit? Just favorite kind of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So on my channel, the most popular stuff are kind of my rankings, especially about Marvel stuff. That's where my channel kind of really took off. And so that's what I kind of have the most of, is talking about different movie franchises. And from my perspective, it's like I get to do 10 mini movie reviews, talk about 10 movies in one video. So that's fun for me. Mm-hmm. And so those are kind of nice. The thing that I probably on my channel was most excited about is I did a video about a year and a half back on canceled Spider-Man movies. And I actually had to do kind of like research. And it was like thinking like, what's something that I want to know about in a nice, concise, quick moving fashion. And then I created that. And so that's to me the one that was kind of most exciting. But, just in general, the fact that I get to watch movies for a living is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And even kind of getting invited to press screenings means that I get invited to movies I didn't know about. And so it just kind of removes me from the process of deciding what I see. Mm-hmm. And therefore I see new and different things, which made 2020 kind of a little bit less fun since we didn't do press screenings, since no movies came out. And even if they did, we certainly didn't do press screenings for them.
Yeah.
Right.
That leads into this question from Brian. What's your favorite ranking video you've done?
Well, I have to go with the one that has the most views because it changed my life. So whenever Black Panther came out, someone in the comment section was like, hey man, you should just rank all the MCU villains. And so I was like, all right, cool, I'll do that. And so did that. And I went, as long as I'm doing the villains, might as well do the heroes, and did that one 2 days later. And then almost 3 years later, those are the 2 most viewed videos on my channel. They literally changed the trajectory of my life. Wow. And to an extent, the videos themselves were hits and then obviously drove in traffic, but it also kind of made me go, I'm putting up barriers as to what I can do with my content. What are all the different angles I can approach things and talk about it? Where's something where I have an opinion that this ranking package allows me to analyze in a way? And so then those 2 videos, obviously, because they got so many views, put me on a course to be able to go full-time a year later. But then beyond that, they just opened up my mind to all the different things I could talk about.
That's
Very
awesome.
Love that.
That is so awesome. I do have a question because I know that you've been out of the community a little bit as far as watching and stuff like that. And I know you probably don't know too much about the history of these managers and kind of what kind of managers they are. Is there a specific kind of setting that you're looking for in a manager or style of like faction, maybe whether it's something that's a little bit more face, a little bit more heel, or something that just kind of have fun playing into the game, anything like that?
Since I know very little about this, I don't even know what would be best strategically. Can you offer me some insight into this to help me teach me what I should be preparing for or thinking through, expecting?
I would say, for me personally, now getting to know you a little bit here on this, that you would fit very well with someone like Koi Jancheru. Your energy level is very similar to what Koi brings to the table. and he's very IG heavy. That's what he likes the most, but he manages very well with people. Like, and he manages Bibiani, for example. Bibiani's the manager. But I would say a quirky merc, or even maybe something like a suspect, because it's not so heavy into it all, or even a Winston like a swag. Probably those three, I would say.
Yeah.
Solid.
And I guess as my starting point, I'm more interested in the trivia side of things as a starting point rather than the picking fights with people side. I'm fine to pick fights with people once I know the first piece that I'm not going to embarrass myself, but I don't want to talk trash and then embarrass myself, which looks really silly.
That's fair. Well, everyone on that team that Jake said are all the nice people. They're like, so.
Yay.
Well, and and Coy Ginger, every time he would say, "Remember, we're here to have fun."
We're here to have fun.
That's something to look out for. Does anybody else have any other questions for Mr. Sean?
I do.
Go ahead.
Favorite Marvel superhero and favorite DC superhero.
Marvel's tricky because the MCU so dominates that inside of the MCU, Tony Stark is such a fantastic character because of Robert Downey Jr. is one of the great movie characters of all time, but it's so tied to the performance that was just such a perfect matchup. If you kind of go beyond that, I'm also a big fan of Daredevil, Punisher, kind of more the street level type characters. That sort of thing appeals to me a little bit more. And then when you go to DC, I go with the two obvious ones, but Superman and Batman, they're the two archetypes. The God that chooses to use his powers for the good of others, and then you have the human who has all the resources that you can have, but he's so broken, so he uses all of his resources to help stop others from experiencing that pain. There's just something very compelling about both of those archetypes of Batman and Superman.
Fair enough.
Batman shirt on, right?
There you go. Jill, do you have a hard hitting question for Sean?
I do. I'm going to do this with all my rookies, and no one has noticed. So welcome to the world of the Schmoedown. You've been drafted since. Let's go with some OGs. Mark Riley.
Yes.
Your first match is against Mark Riley. I would like you to drop a promo against your first match against Mark Riley. What is your promo?
Okay. So how am I promoting myself against Mark Riley?
You are taping a wrestling style Schmoedown promo.
Okay.
And your first match is against Mark Riley.
Okay.
So you're basically talking smack is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Which is what he said he didn't want to do.
But to be fair, not everyone talks smack.
Some people come in as themselves. That is very true.
Like Bibiani literally is just like, we're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait. Like
I have my cat. I'm gonna pet my cat, and we were studying today, and drop a promo.
You don't have to talk smack.
It's great that he's been around for a long time. It's great that he's buddies with all of these people that helped him get plugged into all of this. But I'm here because I'm the fresh new blood. Come in and I'm going to dominate this match. I get it. Your friends let you have some fun here, but I earned my way in and I am ready to prove that I belong here and you belong spectating.
Oh, there we go.
I love it.
Jill, my heart's racing. I don't want him mad at me. So,
That was a good one.
Jill, I think this is going to have to become a regular thing when we have rookies on.
Everyone's gonna be too scared to come on now.
They're all gonna start getting their promos ready now.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do this. So.
Very true. Very, very true. All right, so we'll go and wrap this up with simple POV question here. What is your favorite movie snack and your favorite candy?
movie snack, simple. I'm a popcorn guy.
3 for 3 on popcorn tonight.
Yeah, so whenever I go to the movies, always get a big gigantic tub, and then I even take it home and then like eat it for 3 days. It's like stale, and I'm still eating it. It's disgusting. So the problem, I literally just started New Year's trying to get healthy, so trying to cut those carbs. So I haven't been able to eat popcorn the last week. So, man, yeah, it's been a rough year.
Go for the smart pop.
Smart pop is pretty solid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then candy, I don't really have a favorite. Like I like the full spec. Anything with sugar, I'm on board.
That's fair.
Whatever's the cheap one that I can get a lot of it. But once again, 2021 trying to cut those simple carbs. So what a
How
rough
about this?
year.
Candy, sour or sweet?
I mean, I like both, but I would go sweet a little bit more often. Sour's more of kind of a, I'm in the mood for sour, but I'm always in the mood for sweet.
Fair enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit and popping in. Hopefully this helps managers get to know you a little bit more and see you. And we look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks when the draft actually happens.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And apparently I need to do some research on all the updates in the last few years. So
There's been a couple.
Yeah,
just a little bit of changes.
Well, thank you again. And we look forward to seeing your name called and then hopefully one day seeing you back on the show.
Sounds awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks,
Have a good night.
Sean.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
People like what I'm doing.
Well,
Look,
everyone that's not these three people like what you're doing.
Look, we're gonna have a lot of people on rookie wise over the next week. We not only have the rookie special coming up this Thursday, but we also have 3 rookies lined up for next Sunday's show as well. Our guests are already official for next Sunday's show. One of them being Zach, and he's getting his promo ready as he speaks.
Hey, it's the benefit of watching our show, y'all. You get to see what we ask you. So
We'll have to like switch it up a little bit. Like
Maybe have 2 big ones that they don't know exactly what's coming.
all right.
Yeah.
I'll switch
Yeah,
it up.
so they
I'll
have
switch
to
it up.
prepare for both. That might be fun.
Got it.
Might be
I'll
fun.
switch it up. But hey, we're gonna have some fun improv skills when you.
I want everyone to like me, so I'm not a part of this.
I thrive off of hatred. Bring me the.
Someone had literally put in where I gotta find this comment. Oh my god, where did it go? Oh, here we go. Chuck, Jillow's ready to turn heel. There she goes.
Ready to turn. Ready to turn.
That's fair. Look, no.
We're gonna surprise Zach.
I was gonna say what's fun about Thursday's show is that we could possibly throw the rookies up against one another because there's going to be multiple on screen together, which might be fun. So, but we'll have to think about that for you watching.
These poor people.
Yeah.
If
Let's
you
go
wanna
easy on the rookies.
you want to be in the Schmoedown draft, if you want to play with the big leagues, y'all got to prove yourself.
100%. 100%. Okay, let's get back to this point
Hazers.
system.
Everyone's
We have
gonna
about 15, 20 minutes or so left in the show. Let's go ahead and get back to this point system because this is a big deal going into the next year. So we had talked about so far about the TK KO rule. The next big thing that had happened is that title matches are going to be worth 7 points, not including that roll.
Wait, 7 points for what?
Title matches.
Title matches.
So
Okay.
belt
Title
matches,
matches,
5 rounders. So not tournament finals, just title matches will be worth 7 points. That does not include the TKO KO rule. So there's a possibility of possibly getting 9 points for a title match. Thoughts on that?
I
It's a
dig
lot
it.
of points.
I like it. For a title match, it's 5 rounds. It's a lot harder. It's a lot more stressful. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, especially after. Well, A, you've earned the belt, so your win deserves to have more points. B, you potentially won a tournament and then won the belt, so you should have more points. Like it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
And I left this out, but if that current champion defends the belt, that's an extra 1 point
Because it's a defense. Yeah,
because it's a defense.
it makes sense.
Oh,
100%.
Alex would have so many points.
Can you imagine
We
how
had
many
been doing
points
this.
Adam Collins would have had?
God.
Well,
He would have been a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
faction.
Literally.
Literally. Oh my goodness. I dig it. I mean,
I love it.
I like that there's like high highs with points and like low lows with points. Like it kind of makes it a little bit more of like a gamble, kind of like, do I put this person knowing that I could lose points? Do I go with Old Faithful type that like situation? So I'm down. I think it's exciting. I love the whole point change.
Love it.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. That kind of transfers into Spectacular, which is only once a year. But Spectacular title matches will be worth 10 points,
Is it
not
just-
including
is it
those
just
extra
title
points.
matches or all spectacular matches?
Title matches, just title
Title.
matches.
I was gonna say,
So-
'cause the regular matches shouldn't because
Exactly.
Okay.
But that won't include the TKO KO rule. And so at the end of the year, all of these matches will be worth 10 points. And I know that someone had hypothetically put the points together if this had come into effect. the exchange actually would have been in second place still because of Dan Murrell essentially having all those defenses, and Bateman earlier in the year, and Swag would have been third. And I actually think the Den would have been up there as well because of the point changes. But makes sense, right? Biggest event of the year, biggest points available.
Yeah.
Chuck's comment is so how I feel right now. Like how can you imagine us, how hard of a time we had doing the calculations this year? We'd be like, carry the 1, 7.
I'm gonna have to have Frank on speed dial and go, what are the points again?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
One Streamlabs has come through from Tim Sim, and he said basically managers have to train their competitors not to get knocked out, or they will lose points on knocked losses and end their season really early if it happens too often.
Yeah.
Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting because what would have happened to Ace Cabrera last year if those points were in effect? He did get KO'd by Robert Parker in IG. Would he have been dropped?
It's very possible.
It's scary because like, you can lose by 1 point, and that could be that one time that one person got TKO'd.
I'm hoping managers would understand that people do have a bad day, and that's not necessarily how they play as a whole. So I'm hoping they would allow them to play. But some of these managers are ruthless, and if you can't make the cut, you could be cut.
Yeah.
So, sports. Yay.
Something I never thought I would get involved in, but somehow I found my way here.
Okay.
Scaring them off now.
Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, well, here you go. I have so many rules to learn. Not gonna lie, I'm slightly intimidated, but
Zach, don't worry. All you need to know is your Star Wars, and you'll be fine.
Just learn your Stars War, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Answer questions. Fine.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said answer questions and you'll be fine.
The next big thing is the IG and Star Wars division. Regular season matches are worth 3 points. Number 1 contender matches are worth 4 points. Title matches 7, and tournament matches worth 3 points, with the final being 4 points. TKO KO rule applies there as well.
Party.
Not much difference. Pretty much the same thing. The only thing that really changes is that TKO KO rule plus the tournament matches final being worth a little bit more there, which leads me to the next big thing is a Christian saying that there's a possibility, not official, but possibility of 2 IG tournaments and 2 Star Wars tournaments this year.
Please. If you're going to have more people,
Yeah.
if you're going to have more people in both of those divisions, please do that. Look how successful those tournaments were and how much people enjoyed them. You want to see all of these players play to get an idea of how they play. And yeah, I want to play more.
I want to, yeah, that's fair. I want to see more Star Wars because to me, then it kind of like messes with the people you have on your team. Like you're going to want to have a couple more Star Wars than you usually would. So it's going to take away some of those other players that you might usually have. So it kind of mixes some things up.
I've said this before. I think this is going to be the first. Well, we only had factions 2 seasons, so what do I know? But I think people are going to be looking into having more Star Wars and IG players.
At least 2 Star Wars players per faction.
At least 2 Star Wars players per faction.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, and it used to kind of feel like you were just the token Star Wars player, but now it doesn't really feel like that anymore.
Christian had said, so this was all said on Backstage last week, but he had said that he believes the Star Wars division to be bigger than IG this year. Which and
RIP the question writers.
Yeah. Well, and he had said also kind of in that well, the official schedule.
Pat in the back.
The official schedule as of right now is Wednesday Star Wars match, Thursday IG match, Friday singles match. That's going to be every single week.
So we're getting a Star Wars match every week.
We're going to get a Star Wars match and IG match every single week. They won't just be singles and teams because teams right now is on a hiatus for the moment. And I had to throw this one up there. No one cares about the Star Wars tournament.
It's true.
Oh wait, I do care.
But yeah, so it's kind of a big deal because that means, I mean, there's a lot of weeks, there's a lot of months there's going to be a lot of Star Wars and a lot of Inner Geekdom, and they are going to count because they're bigger in points. And IG and Star Wars is typically where you see a little bit more of the TKO KO rule come into effect, more so than singles and teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean came 1 point away from getting that. No, I'm kidding. I'm just trying to
What?
rile up Jill.
I'm just saying, Zach, Sean Sullivan is my significant other. He is also a Star Wars player, so he's gonna throw shots. So I apologize in advance.
I think what's kind of cool also is the thought of like, you might have someone. Thank you, Justin. If you're looking at two people on a team for Star Wars, like they could be training partners, which could make it like kind of scary. Like if, yes, you do sometimes too much. I just think, it could be cool. Like, you might have two new players that are Star Wars that could be study partners, and that could be really good. You could have someone like I'm drawing a blank. Laura. Let's say Laura. I was trying to think of someone.
How do you draw a blank on Star Wars players? There's like 8 of them.
I was drawing a blank in the sense of like, I'm not assuming Alex and Molly are just gonna be like, here's our secrets. Got it. So here's our book of Star Wars knowledge, like that,
Secrets. Our secrets are that we're always
literally one
studying.
sitting next to you, and I'm in the other room. How do you forget the names of Star Wars competitors?
It's not the competitors. Are you willing to give up your secrets?
He left. He came.
Oh, okay. See, sass.
I was like, where is that coming from? And then I noticed it was Sean.
God?
Like, what the hell? He's just speaking from the ether.
But to Brian's statement is, and Molly can attest to this too, Star Wars players in a faction, the factions can't train them.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
know Star Wars trivia.
They can do the best they can on the game, but the knowledge, no bueno.
And then maybe your IG player can help if you have someone like a Smets or a Chandru or a Parker or Ellison or someone or Kalinowski on your team, but they only have so much of a base knowledge on Star Wars for the most part, really. So the Star Wars players were kind of like fish out of water when it came to people helping them study. It was basically, where are my Star Wars friends out in the ether who can help me study? Or Alex and Molly and Alex. And I was at work writing Star Wars questions for Sean. I don't know Star Wars, but I'm gonna write questions, so it's and that's definitely gonna be a benefit if there's two Star Wars players on each faction, just to have that study help.
Oh yeah.
It's not like you're gonna see Kaiser finding questions from Star Wars.
Well, also keep in mind the Star Wars division
or Finstock
is by far the most detailed. You have to know the most, and these managers, if there's this many matches a week, they're gonna be focusing on all these at once. They can't put too much time into one thing. Like the Star Wars players are gonna have to focus a little bit on their own. Whereas IG, there's enough of them, they can come together, and singles players can even help them with that. Star Wars is like an island out in the middle of nowhere where they're kind of in this own division by themselves, and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be.
Sorry, Molly. Kick that Alex guy to the wind because it's all you and whoever your teammate is.
He's my study partner, which is good for me because it's him.
I did want to ask though, because and we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, the tournaments haven't happened, but no word as of right now of a losers bracket. I know we've talked about it multiple times on here. Do you think that the chance of 2 tournaments rules that out, or is that more likely?
It depends.
I think that's the reason there isn't a losers bracket.
But it also depends on how many people are in, because the Star Wars tournament was like, if there's 2 tournaments, I'm assuming it would be different players in each tournament. You would think.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think there's a possibility of the tournaments including all of them.
I think it's because you could look at it this way. If you do one in the beginning of the year, let's say mid-beginning of the year, and you have someone like Vejvoda, who is out first round. Wait, was it Vejvoda? No. I always mix these.
No.
Yeah,
No. It was Quevedo.
Quevedo. Sorry, excuse me.
Vejvoda's out first round in IG.
I always mix their
Yeah.
names up because they're both names that I can never remember to say correctly. Maybe you don't want him for the second tournament because he lost the play-in. You could drop him and the next tournament have a whole nother person. So, I mean, there's kind of that gamble. Or do you roll the dice and hope he wins the next time and gets further? So, whereas losers bracket, it's kind of like if you do it twice, you really like that's a lot of matches to
And
do. I mean,
a lot of points.
yeah.
Or maybe the two tournaments it's not necessarily like a losers bracket. It's like I don't know, like you throw some of the rookies into the first tournament and have
And
them
then,
go through. And then you have like a little bit of a step up next tier tournament.
Scrimshaw, Kelly,
Yes.
Damon. Yeah.
That or maybe the first one is similar to last year's, and then the second one is double, where it's just bigger. It's like the big finale of the year tournament, similar to what IG did.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
That would be insane. I mean,
Poor Molly, she's like, I need to go back on vacation right now.
Say that.
Back to the cabin I go.
Say that each faction gets 2 Star Wars players. That's 16 Star Wars players. You could do one tournament with 8. You could do one tournament with 16. You can do 2 tournaments with 16, and 2 of them with losing brackets. If you lose twice, you're out. A double elimination, essentially, which is what we want to see, obviously.
Yeah.
I think if there's any division to do it, Star Wars is the one to do it. Maybe even IG, if you limit the number of players. I think a losing bracket would be really fun because the stakes are so much higher. And for example, someone, and I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but like Jim Vejvoda, you mentioned Jim Vejvoda, right? He played one team's match, but then he played that IG match, and then he was done for the year.
Yeah.
Like, what if he got a second chance? You don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
Scrimshaw, perfect example.
Run and gun.
Scrimshaw lost round 1 off a perfect.
Sean
game because
Sullivan.
Sean Sullivan, like someone who almost who had a perfect round 1 other than a missed syllable, and then he didn't know ton for God's sake. Like,
Well, I mean, look at his first match that before the tournament. Could have had a TKO. Then you get the luck of Laura in the first round, and you hit that wall. So, I mean, it's like, second chances. But to me personally, if you're over the 10 players, I almost kind of don't want to see a loser's bracket. If it's kept small, then I would like a loser's bracket. But if you're looking at like 16 people.
Well, that's a difference. I think it's a different story.
Yeah.
But what if it was played more frequently, though, not just one a week? And it went quicker. Like, it didn't take like 3 months, but it took like a month and a half to get through that entire tournament.
I just think a loser's bracket for Star Wars is a really good idea, purely because exactly like people like Scrimshaw, like it's just the luck of the questions is what it really comes down to for most of the Star Wars players. It's like we all know like a ton of just ridiculous Star Wars trivia knowledge, but it's whatever questions you get. And yeah, he played a perfect game and still got knocked out. So he deserves to be able to play again.
even his losing question, he still technically got right.
It just wasn't detailed enough.
Someone was more right than he was. It wasn't that he got it wrong. So it's situations like that. It's like, I want to have a loser's bracket because the fact that he was eliminated in round one is insane to me.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, hatred versus Luke's hatred. You got to specify whose hatred.
Whose hatred is it? Like Star Wars tournament. Yeah.
These poor
not enough wine in the world, guys.
Cheers to that.
Those poor question writers. I hope they double in size.
There you go. Yep, there you go.
Tell you what, yeah, and I've always said this, like I want to write questions. Obviously I can't if I'm a competitor, and also as long as Alex is in it, I can't, but one day One day I'm going to get in there. We'll retire with the belt. I'll just have to make another belt.
Fair point. Maybe
'Cause
that's
I'll be
like we had mentioned. If
Yeah.
you know that's if the second tournament is there, that's because the losing bracket's not there. So
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with what he said. 2 tournaments and a losers bracket, it's too much.
That's too much.
Oh, real quick, and we'll end the show after this, but I did forget this. This was announced. Merle versus Snyder for a number 1 contenders match. I forgot about this. So this will be the next number 1 contender match. No official date as of yet, but it will. So the winner of this will play Adam Collins for the belt. Thoughts on this one? And we'll get more into this as the season goes on, but
I like it. I like it because Merle lost the belt to Collins and Snyder
lost the tournament to Collins.
It makes sense for them to be going for a number 1 contender shot.
Yeah, it's very much makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
I agree.
I think it's a really good matchup.
Let's do an early pick'em. Who would you have early on right now? Merle Snyder.
I don't
Depends on who's
know.
managing Snyder, to be honest.
It's gonna be Roxy. Come on.
Well,
Depends.
sure.
You say Snyder, I say Merle.
No. I said she had asked who managing Snyder.
Depends who's managing
I know, and I'm
Snyder.
saying who's managing Snyder. I would rather be more curious into who's managing Merle.
I put the money on Merle no matter what, personally.
I'd probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Snyder
I
last
might.
season was.
I might lean with Snyder because I don't.
over Dan Merle, really.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Snyder played slightly better than Merle last season.
It's a fair statement.
Slightly,
It's
like slightly better.
I mean,
better.
I'm sorry. I'm putting it out there. In my opinion, there is no way in hell that he's with anyone other than Roxy Snyder.
I agree.
So for me, I want to know who Merle is being coached by. Because I could see a couple people where I'm like, oh, that's scary. I could see a couple of other people that coach him and being like, okay. So like, I know what Snyder and Roxy are capable of. I don't know who Dan and whoever is capable of. So that's kind of what makes me lean towards Snyder a little bit on that one.
Mm-hmm. It's fair.
Yes, Starger. Hot take. Hot take.
I mean,
I don't know.
people in the chat taking Snyder. It's a fair question. After the way he played last year.
Yeah, after like I said, Snyder freaking killed it last season. Like he freaking killed it.
It'll be interesting to see just both of their attitudes going into the new season. And I do think it matters where Dan ends up, like what manager, because I think he does well on his own, but he could definitely use that extra help and push from a good manager.
Yeah.
It'll be very
Brian,
interesting.
Brian and Paige, I see you. Snyder picks. I see you guys.
We'll know in the next couple weeks because free agency is the hot topic right now. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. A lot of people being contacted with a lot of things, and we're going to keep it going here too on POV. As we mentioned up top, Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, our regular time, 6 p.m. Pacific, we will be having the rookie draftee special. We're going to be joined by over 10 rookies who are pretty much unknown to the community, and they're going to be allowed to state their case here on the channel about why they should be drafted, what they bring to the table. And I already put a tweet out on Twitter for all the managers to see. I tagged them all, and hopefully they saw that, and they will probably be watching. And so that'll be very interesting. Look at
how beautiful that is. Jake Berlin made that.
Oh, stop it.
Jake made that with his own two hands.
Jesus. Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it. Goodness. It's just an image. It's just an image. Brian, we are working on it. Don't worry. I know Flickinger is one of the guys a lot of people are looking at. A message has been sent out.
We've tried with almost everyone. So it's almost kind of like in their court.
If you guys want to tweet out to Flickinger, if you want to tweet out to Kofi Outlaw, I've sent messages to them. Just no response just as of yet. We'd love to have them on the show. Any rookie who is on the draft list, Any rookie who was on the draft list, we have loved to have on the show to let them state their case here on the channel and put them front and center against the managers. So that's what we want to do with the 3 guests tonight. Thomas, Christina, and Sean. Great guests. Really fun to talk to them 3. Definitely bring different things to the table. I think we're going to see a lot of them here in the near future.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll see a lot of them in the near future.
I'm excited. This is going to be a fun week.
Yeah.
We got
the next couple weeks are going to be chaotic.
Hey,
but this week
just-
specifically.
just listen.
I don't want to hear it. You guys don't have to play Laura.
But speaking of Laura, Jill and Molly will be doing a show with Laura Kelly on Saturday. Happy Hour with Jill and Molly. Our debut episode of Happy Hour will be happening this Saturday, 5 o'clock Pacific, right here on this channel. Guys, you will not want to miss this one.
Can we make it through the entire episode without bringing up Star Wars?
Absolutely not.
We should take a drink every time someone mentions Star Wars.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Oh, can we make like
We should make a drinking game that happens throughout the show.
a like a word of
Like a word. Like
A word of the night.
or something, yeah.
Because I feel like
We
me
need
and
it-
Laura will both feel like, okay, no shop talk. Let's just have a good time.
at some point it's gonna be like, screw you, Laura. I'm gonna kick your ass. Laura's like, no, I'm gonna take you down.
Yeah, so if you guys
no, and it'll be the other way around. Be like, you know what? We're both winners.
I love you so much.
if you guys
Let's
don't
be a
know,
team.
That's more it. I
We're the
love you
best.
so
Could we
much.
just tie? Could we just sit there and not answer questions so we both win?
if you guys don't know, the first match of the Schmoedown season for 2021 is between Molly and Laura. That is the first official match of this year, and you will see them on a show together, drinking booze, having fun on Saturday with Jill coordinating it all. So that'll be quite an hour and a half, 2 hours. Who knows
It's
how
not
long
going
this
to be
thing
an
goes?
hour and a half.
Who knows how long this thing goes? But it's going to be fun.
Show.
It's going to be enjoyable. So it's definitely.
Jake, if we do a word,
there you go.
word of-
Everyone, anytime anyone says Laura or Molly,
God.
Oh no.
Want us to die? Do you just want us to die? Because that's how
we need
die.
to get like a little number counter in one of the corners for every time.
In the
Just-
corner.
Get a
I'll work on
soundboard
that.
like
I'll work on that.
ting,
Yeah.
ting every time, ting.
I'll work on
Man.
Oh goodness gracious! Look at
Um,
that. Thursday show, Friday awards, Saturday happy hour, Sunday.
My
Yeah, so-
liver already hurts.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the
so-
awards. Oh my god, I forgot about the
So
awards.
Friday is the awards. They're live. I believe they are open to everybody. I think it's public on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's live to everyone. Obviously, we'll be discussing it on Sunday's show, but we're going to interview and talk to the rookies first, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of the awards and what happened. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of POV this week, which is a lot of fun. We're back,
Thank
Back,
God.
baby.
I'm so bored.
and then you'll see quite a bit of us over the next number of months.
We're gonna get
for-
sick of our beautiful faces.
And if you want even more of our beautiful faces, you can join our Patreon, which the link is right there. The link is in the description as well. We're doing all kinds of reactions and watch-alongs, and there's happy hour benefits. There's Q&A benefits.
37 question Q&As.
Yeah, definitely
Oh.
recommend that. A lot of fun. Also, I do want to mention all of the guests we had on today's show. All of their links are in the description, guys. Their Twitters, also Sean's YouTube channel. It is in there. You guys can go ahead and follow them, keep update with them as well.
Also, if you liked who you saw, tweet them out and tweet managers you think they would belong with. because
Exactly.
managers
I know
make out-
Coy had already responded to something on Twitter as well. And I think Christina had already responded to him. So that'll be very interesting. But for now, I know, making moves. But for now, that's going to wrap up tonight's POV, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us over the last hour and a half plus. We hope you guys enjoyed the interviews with Thomas, Christina, and Sean. Again, we'll have a lot more people coming on this week, 10 plus on Thursday, plus 3 more on Sunday. You'll see our faces a lot, plus a happy hour on Saturday. So thank you again. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and around the table real quick. Jill, where can everybody find you online?
Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, not knowing what day it is.
Brian,
Instagram and Twitter, be of all, you know.
Molly,
At Molly Damon on Twitter and Twitch, at Molly Mander
Oh,
on
wearing some.
Instagram. I may or may not be around for the next couple of weeks. because I'll be watching Star Wars.
Your man said you have a Lego stream on Wednesday.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have all of our regular stuff that we're doing
I was gonna say.
on top of, and we're. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're diving into Marvel stuff. We're gonna talk about WandaVision.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. That's ours. Stay in your lane.
Just join our show. Just join our show.
You know.
Stay in your lane.
I'm allowed to like other things.
You can't, Molly. You can't.
You can find POV on Twitter, Schmoedown POV right there above Molly. Streamlabs for questions right above me. Again, Patreon. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's before someone else took it before I did. And then again, Sundays here at 6 p.m. Pacific. Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here with all the rookies. Saturday for happy hour with Laura Kelly. And then we'll be back next Sunday with 3 more rookies plus awards talk. Again, to everyone who joined us, thank you so much. And we will see you guys very soon.
Bye.